Hey everyone, hope you all doing well. So probably all of you know that we are building NoX for a while now, NoX version 3 to be specific. So in this video, we're going to show you a demo, how exactly NoX is going to work. So Harshit will share his screen and we'll go to Slack. So basically in the new version, NoX is going to be an intelligent uh, communication management layer for project managers. So it's going to handle all the communication for project managers, which basically taking a lot of time for them and which is causing a lot of delays in IT project delivery. So we have published few researches and reports on this thing on our LinkedIn page, which shows why it is a big problem. And in this video, we're going to focus on how exactly, just giving a scenario that how exactly NoX going to work. So Harshit, if you may share your screen, just to give you guys a clue about scenario is that Harshit, let's say Harshit is a project manager, and Harshit got a text from admin, let's say. Admin in this scenario is Harshit's manager. So if we go to the screen, we see that admin have sent a text that we need to initiate a project with the UiPath team. So there needs to be a service now to UiPath integration. And executive sponsor for this is V. It's basically me. And there's a whole process, or there's a process which his manager have asked Harshit to follow. Now Harshit is the project manager. Now you might see there's another message with the same text above that. It's because we were testing this scenario for a while now. That's why. So yeah. Now next step is ideally in a real scenario, Harshit would have 3 or 4 or 5 projects simultaneously to manage. That's the one problem. Second, what would the next step Harshit would do is Harshit would reach out to V as Harshit would firstly go to Jira, create a story for it, then assign a developer to it, then go to V, ask for an approval. When V approves, and if you don't approve, then Harshit will have to follow up with them. And then when V approves, then the next step he's going to ask who is the architect for it. Then again, we might take a little time. So Harshit will have to still keep it in mind and then follow up again. And when V further gives the architect's name, then go to that architect, get this information, and then add it to the Jira story. Let the developer know that development have kick off the development. And when developer needs any further information, example, apart from that, then go back to the architect, collect that information, give back to the developer, and a lot of these steps. And in all these thing, a lot of waiting period, and then having it in back at the head that you have to follow up with someone and chasing down. Right. There's a lot of work of project managers that they're gonna do, which is not exactly needed, because we know that every person, every project manager we talk, or probably you guys have also experienced, they're always busy, but none of those things are getting delivered on time. So let's see how NoX going to help us here. So what Harshit is going to do is Harshit is going to NoX and he'll just simply ask what needs to be done as NoX. Now, typing it takes a little time. Like it's just, I mean, it's 3-4 lines, not much, but still, for this video only, we've already created the prompt and we're gonna put it there. What this prompt is there saying is, if you can read it exactly, saying that just create a Jira story in Can project, and then take the Jira story, the Jira number basically, to V, and ask for his approval. When V approves, then ask him about the technical architect for the project, from where the credentials can be gathered. Then go to that technical architect, collect the credentials, then send it to our developer and add it to the Jira story. And when all these things are done, then let Harshit know that everything is all sorted. So Harshit, just paste this prompt into NoX and let's see where it goes. Perfect. So we're looking forward to the next step. And there you go. NoX have responded immediately that he understood what the project is. He has understood what the next task is. And he'll be reaching out to V and Divit. So for now, V and Divit are the people in the play. Though after V provides the name of the architect, third person will also get involved into the chat. But for now, that's the case. Now in this situation, now Harshit's work is done. Harshit is not going to do anything as a project manager, because any follow-ups that coming in, like somebody what let's say we provide the approval and we got the architect's name. Now, if a developer needs any other information from the architect, developer don't even needs to know his architect. Developer don't need to know anything. He just say to the NoX that he needs this information, and NoX will know that architect is whatever the name, and they're gonna provide the information. So that's how it is. Now we can see Harsha. The next step is what we are waiting for is to NoX to create the story or the Jira task first, and then probably we can take the conversation to the next step. Yep. So now NoX just confirmed. Now we go to V's account, which is my account basically, and we'll see. We'll wait for a message from NoX. So I'll just share my screen. Just give me a very quick sec. Let me know, Arshad, when you can see my screen. It's visual. Perfect. We'll go to my Slack account, and here you see I have got a message, two messages from NoX. In fact, one I remember is was for some other task, but we'll see the latest one. Let's see what it is about. Yep. So it says, IV, I'm reaching out on behalf of Harshit Agrawal for the service for the project, and here's a task created for it. Could you please review it and approve it? Uh, Once approved, could you share the name of technical architect from whom we should gather the required credentials? So usually what an approver would do is go to the story, review the information in the story. Now currently we didn't add too much information in the story, but it all depends upon the prompt. And if you want more, if a project manager wants more information, as much as information needed, they just need to add it into the prompt, and NoX will do that. So here I know the story is created and I know everything, so I'll just go ahead and say it's approved. And I also provide the name of an architect. And architect is, so you see this guy, this is again our dummy account which we created for this testing purposes. So I'll give the name for this architect. Name is Arvind Sharma. And already you can see NoX have already followed up about this thing, that who is going to be the architect. So the architect is Arvind Sharma. I'll just let it know. Perfect. Now if we go back to what exactly originally the project was, originally the project was that after it gets an approval from me and it gets the name of the architect, the next step was going to the architect and asking for credentials. So now we go to Aryan Sharma, who is architect's Slack screen, and we see that what NoX is going to reach out with what messages to them. So here are we.
And just a heads up here, guys. On my Slack account, I have received a quick update that V. Shukla has approved the project and he has identified RN Sharma as the technical architect, and that it has reached out to RN Sharma. So this basically means the NOX is keeping me in the loop, the task owner of every progress that it's making.
Exactly. So whatever task project manager is asking for, he's always getting in the loop. And we also have another layer to it. We're gonna show it in the end how manager can be in complete oversee of any and every action that NoX does. So there is no scope of any error. NoX project manager will be able to review each and every message that NoX sends, as well as it receives, and all the people it interacts with live. So we'll show about that thing in the very end. But let's see, we are currently on architect's account, Arjun Sharma's account, and we can see NoX already have sent a message to them. So let's see what it's in there. If I open it here, I see that NoX have said, I'm reaching out on behalf of Harshit Agrawal, which is going to be the project manager, obviously, for which project and reference of the story number. And could I please provide the credentials, blah, 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 blah. Now it's doing this extra effort of explaining what credentials is supposed to be, if guessing if I'm not the right person, I'm not a technical person enough to understand this thing. Thankfully, I am. Though I don't have any codes or any credentials written for it. So I just, on the next step, I just open this thing, service now credits and all, and I'll just copy and paste this content just for the sake of this testing purpose, and I'll paste it in the chat there. Perfect. So now since I have provided the credentials to NoX, so if you remember what was the next step? The next step was that NoX is supposed to add all this information to the Jira story and let the developer Divit know about it, that information is added there, and to initiate the conversation. So over to you, Harshit. Harshit, if you can share your screen.
Yep.
And show what exactly the message Divit is receiving.
Yep, definitely. So, yep, guys. So this is Divit's account that we have,
Perfect.
and
You just received a message from NoX. It's there on the top, Harshit. Perfect. So what exactly this message is saying is that on behalf of Harshit Agrawal, this is the project, this is the story. It's saying credentials have been added to the story, and please initiate the work on your earliest convenience. Now, this is a little simpler process. Still, a lot of to and fro is going on. But let's say we add another layer to it. Let's say we add another complication, because it's not going to work this smooth always, right? That you ask people and they provide everything on time. So let's say if yeah, first we can go to Jira also, and we can make sure that all this information is added to the comment as we're expecting Nox to do, and we can see that Nox have added all this information to the story. That's perfect. Now, if we go back to the screen of Divit, Harshit, let's say Divit will need a little more information. Like whatever information have been added to the story, it's fine, it's great, it's thank for that, but we need a little more information. For example, let's say we need some another endpoint link. So can we ask that endpoint link to Nox, and Nox will be able to provide that? Let's see. We give it a try. So Harshit, let's respond Nox that thanks for everything, but we need an endpoint link. Perfect. So now Divit have said, and by the way, in a normal situation, what would happen with that, Divit will have to reach out to project manager, ask that I need a little more information, and then project manager would have reached out to the architect and found that information and then came back and provided. But in this situation, project manager is sitting idle doing something more important, and all this conversation happening. So if we go to project manager's means Harshit's screen, we see that Harshit is getting regular updates for each and every action that is happening. So the last update which he got is that a quick update on the project that David Singh has requested API endpoints. So it has already told Harshit that all the information was provided and added to the story, but they need API endpoint too. Now, Nox already knows for obvious reasons that these kind of information should be coming from the technical architect. So what Nox would have done is they might have reached out to technical architect and asked for the endpoint. So the technical architect here is Anand Sharma. So I'll share my screen again, Harshit, and I'll show what message that Aryan have received. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Just a sec. Yep, it is. Yep. Yeah, it is up.
Perfect. So I'll go to RN screen and let's see if I received any new messages. So in this same chat where this project conversation was going on, I see that Nox has came back to me saying, I'm talking in reference of this project. Divit has informed that in addition to the credentials I provided, they need API endpoint too. So if I can share, and you can see the language, you can see the professionalism in the words. It's not just random text coming, hey, can you share this thing? It's giving the full context that this is the story, this is the project, because everyone's busy, right? So they need context for every message. And Nox is making sure that to provide that thing. So it's exactly saying what project, what story, and what exactly they need, which is they need a API endpoints. So and it's asking for that earliest convenience. So let's say I'll provide the endpoints. Now I don't have any endpoints link, but I'll just provide this link. Okay. Let's say I'll just copy and paste this Google link there and enter. Now what is the next step? Now next step is, as usual, Nox will go and add that link to the Jira story and inform David that endpoint has been provided. So guys, we hit a little roadblock in this. The delay, the delay you see for 6 minutes, that happened because the link I provided was just a random Google link, which you just said, and Nox was vigilant about it. It wasn't accepting it. It said they need a specific ServiceNow API endpoint, and it could read that that link is a Google search link. So it kept asking me again and again for giving me a specify ServiceNow link. So I just created a ServiceNow endpoint link and just provided that. And now you see that David received the ServiceNow endpoint link, and we can now, since David have received the credentials, let's just say that okay, David will now initiate the work. So Harshit, if you can respond as David that he gonna commence the work. Perfect. Since now David have confirmed that he's going to initiate the work on it, let's go to Harshit's screen and see that what is the summary we are getting of the project. So there you can see Nox have updated that credentials that were provided by Aryan were added to the Jira, and David have confirmed that they have initiated working on it, and so we are not all good, and it's just asking that any further that needs to be done. So from us, nothing for now, but we won't close the chat as of yet because, for example, let's further conversation might be a need to be happen between the developer and the architect, so we'll let that happen. But for overviewing, we'll go to the dashboard and we'll show what exactly you'll get as a project manager when you're gonna access the Nox dashboard. So this is what the dashboard going to look to you. On the very first home overview page, you will see that if any task, a pending task is waiting at some stage for you. So here you can see this is a task we created before initiating this whole session. And this is something about Q4 marketing campaign for which information is needed from V, and we haven't provided it yet. So here, there you see the task on the top. Now, if you scroll a little down, Harshit, on this one, this dashboard also provides you the information about the time all the tasks are taking, how the distribution among the tasks which are in ready state, failed state, completed, waiting, or cancelled. Obviously, the total task and all the messages that NoX have sent on behalf of you. This is more of a KPI metric for you, that how much NoX is working hard for you guys, and how many stakeholders till now have NoX introduced themselves to. So, for example, for this task, we just did one major task, and for which NoX talked to these all four folks. So we have these folks in the list of stakeholders. If we scroll a little more down to that, Harshit, to these visuals, it again shows that how much time your average stakeholder is taking to reply, and the task started by hour. All these metrics will be provided to you on your dashboard. You can easily access all the tasks getting done. Now, the bigger thing on the next tab. Harshit, if you may go to the task tab, please. Yep. So this is the tab which shows basically all the tasks that are in different stages. And when I click on specific task, then the level of detail is provided as exception. So here you obviously see the objective, you obviously see the final action, because this task is just completed. We just saw that whole project about service mesh UI path integration. The task is just completed. By the way, when I say completed, that doesn't mean that no conversation further can happen. A new task needs to be created. A developer or anyone, any stakeholders involved in the conversation, they just need to go to the same chat and type a message again, and the task will be restarted, or new task will be created for it. But there's no barrier into it. So it doesn't mean that every time project manager will have to create a new project or new chat for every new conversation. Now, if you see process log, it gives you step by step each and everything that NoX have done, which also includes not just action around doing Jira or talking to few folks, but also show planning, that what exactly NoX was thinking before taking that step. This shows accountability. This shows that whatever NoX is going to do on behalf of you, nothing will go out of nothing can be just blamed on anything. We have logs which will show each and every action that NoX is going to take on behalf of the project manager. Now, if we scroll a little more, Harshit, there it shows reasoning history, basically reasoning in the terms of what exactly the reasoning behind each and every action of NoX specifically. And if we scroll a little more, Arshad, we see a section of known people. Known people is basically showing that for this project, for this specific task, how many people NoX had to interact with. This is just additional information apart from what the conversation is happening. And this is the key part here. Now, as NoX is going to talk on behalf of you, project managers might be concerned that what exactly NoX is saying to other people. They might don't know, and they might feel concerned how exactly he's following up, or how exactly it is talking to other folks. Here, we provide you word by word, each and every information about what NoX is talking to someone and what it's getting response in. So all the conversation which happened with Arya and V or any other stakeholder, messages sent as well as responses received, a project manager will have clear visual, clear view of all those conversations. It will show all the messages that have been sent. Apart from that, you see there's another task which is in progress. Here, project manager will have an ability to set a priority of this task, how high priority or low priority it is. So they can select 1 to 5, and one supposed to be the highest priority and 5 supposed to be the lowest priority. And then NoX will focus on that task to complete first. Okay. And then there is obviously the button for canceling, which project manager will get to cancel a task at very moment. So whenever you feel like something needs to be progress, a project manager can just simply go ahead and cancel it. So that's all for NoX version 3. We are going to obviously keep updating, keep adding more features, keep adding more quality into our work. But this is going to be rolled out today, and this is open for all project managers. So we have created a form for it for them, because for testing, proper testing, you need an environment of Slack and a few scenarios, and then access to this board dashboard. So we have created a form. All the testers who are interested in testing it, they just need to register it there, and it will notify us to create a setup an account for you. We're going to set up an account for you, and we'll share you the information, and then you can access all these features. You can test it accordingly and share your feedback with us that how useful it is. Thank you so much. We really appreciate all of your time, and have a nice, wonderful day ahead. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you, everyone.